What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Rob, and in this video we're going to be talking about data, and mainly from the Garmin Catalyst. Alright, so what is the Garmin Catalyst? I would say it's like having a driving coach that's next to you that's collecting data. That's the kind of simple, quick, and easy way. It's really neat though. There's a lot of information that this thing will tell you on track. Basically, I always look for, well, how can I go faster around this corner, right? One way to tell is, your exit speed. At the end of each corner, let's say the first couple laps, any track, let's just say you're doing 70 miles an hour. Well, how do you know if you're improving if you didn't have it? Well, I would always tell people, based on your exit speed when you're on the exit of the corner, if you're 70 miles an hour and then you do a couple more laps, if you can go 71, 72 mile an hour, that tells me that you're going faster. Maybe you do 69, well, you're not going faster, so we're not going to do that. And however you got to that 69, then we won't do it. And however you got to 72, then all right, we need to do that. Well, with the Garmin, it will record all that, and then it will produce what we call a optimal lap. So each section of the track, turn by turn, you can break down each section, and it will tell you, hey, this was your fastest corner on lap 3, turn 2, and so on and so forth, just like that. So that's really cool. It's a 7-inch screen. You can go and record all your data, and it will show you your line. It's all GPS. Everything's I think laser scan some of these tracks, or the majority of them. It's got a camera you mount up on the windshield, and it can see the hood of the car and kind of where you're at on track. So a lot of good data. Let's get into how I mount it. Alright, so this is my 22 GR86. There's the Catalyst. This is my glove box. There's the camera right there, right? So I run the wire up through here and then down into here. Where I mount it is right there. So basically, I pull this out, and you can tighten this thing here. And you stick it there, just like that. Obviously, you'd want to make it nice and straight. And that's how I run it. There's actual, I don't know if you can see it, there's like a cigarette lighter. That's where I plug it in to get my power. Run all my cables here, and then the camera, just pull this off, pull this off, and then I just run the wire all the way to there. And that's how I have it mounted in my car. And then when you're not tracking, you pull it off, you look at your footage, you loosen that up, and you fold it in. It's just, I used double-sided tape, and then I screwed it in. So you can always just, unscrew that if you ever decided you want to trade the car in or get rid of it. You just got, that there. And you shut it, and you would never even known it was there. Alright, so let's power it up. I'm just gonna basically hit agree. It's gonna be hard to see with the glare, but this is your options here. So you have drive, review, it kind of tells you, you know, your temperature, humidity, stuff like that. I like it down here because when I'm on track and I'm looking around, I have nothing to kind of block my vision. It's down there in the glove box, but it's not too far away to where I can't just look at it really quick just to see if I'm improving. I use a set of like Apple AirPods. I use the Bluetooth, and it will tell me if I use the advanced driving coach. It will talk to me and it would say good things like, you know, brake later, good apex, you know, personal best, and it's like having a driving coach sitting here saying, hey, you're doing good, better apex, you know, hey, that was your personal best, stuff like that. So that's really, really cool that it does that. Alright, so we're gonna take a closer view. Hopefully you guys can see that without the glare. But let's just say we did we just did our first session of the day. And we're gonna go to my recent one here at the firm. And actually, you know what, we'll do Sebring because I use Sebring quite a bit. And this is one thing that I like about this. Alright, so this is Sebring. If we stroll, alright, so it looks like almost every 2 months I've been going to Sebring. I started, I don't know if you can see that, with my car bone stock at a 252. Then we added sway bars and obviously more seat time, 248. So I'm going a little bit faster. Then added stickier tires, did a 238, then a 237, and then 233, and then my personal best at a 232.3. So we can compare from the beginning. Let's just go to, I don't know, 4 p.m. on that day, and it tells you everything. So my 252, my optimal lap was a 250. So if I put all these sections together, right, doing the best that I can, it will be a 252. So that's every single session being perfect. I've never seen a perfect lap. I don't know if they exist, but that's something everyone, you know, that's what we chase for on track. So this is the what we call opportunities. And it kind of tells you when you start looking at squiggly lines, and I know it's tough to see in this video, but they're there. So we can talk about, you know, speed, your apex speed, cornering speeds, things like that, apex. We talk about our braking, you know, G-forces, our line, and then we can actually look at footage, right? Our optimal versus our average lap. So that's kind of it, right? So we did a 252, and you can actually take these, right? We can go to laps, and we can take our optimal lap, right? And we can just play this video, and now we can see exactly what we did. And I know it's tough to see, but there it is. So now we're going into turn 1 at Sebring. And there's no sound. There is sound, but not when you're watching the optimal lap. Because putting, you know, each corner or each section clip by clip together. And, you know, you can sit here and watch it and you can say, okay, that's what I did. Visually see it. You know, because it's hard when someone explains to you, but this, you know, it's one thing I love. And look, now we're on to the next clip. So it's just showing you this was the fastest way, you know, around the track that I've already done. The Garmin is only going to tell you what you've done. It's not going to make something up for you to try and do. It won't do that. It's only going to say like, hey, you apex, you know, a little bit later here, you know, 30 feet, or you're braking harder, or you brake less. Stuff like that. So it's really cool. So don't worry when you listen to the race coach that it's telling you to do something you've never done. It's always and only going to tell you to do something that you've already done. Alright, so another thing. They got a pretty cool app. Download it, right? Open it up, and there you go. So it's going to tell you your all-time, how many laps you've done total. And I don't know what's going on with this camera. I'm freaking it out. All right, so I got a total of over 8 hours on track. Just this year, 2023, I have close to 4.5 hours on track with 125 laps. So that's another thing to keep in mind. You put a new, oil change, fluid, brake pads. You can go and say, all right, with these pads I put on this date, I put in X amount of laps, how many hours on the pad, stuff like that. So we can go to, let's just say, we're gonna click on Sebring. So one cool thing is that they have what we call show the leaderboard, which I like, because now you get to compare your driving to everyone else's, anyone that has a Catalyst, right? So we're gonna go so far on top, 2014 Porsche, a 911, it's a Cup car. It did a 2:06 at Sebring. And we can keep strolling. It's gonna show the fastest person on top. All right, let's see, we're gonna keep going. I'm there somewhere. So we got my buddy in his Camaro at a 2:29.4, and then here I am in my Toyota at a 2:32.2. Or I'm sorry, a 2:32.3. All right, so now that we talked about the leaderboard, which is pretty cool, so we're gonna go back into the app. I'm gonna click on Sebring since it's one of my favorite tracks. I'm gonna click on any lap, right? And we're gonna click on graphs, and there's your squiggly lines. And this could be a little overwhelming. It takes some time to get used to, but basically you can click on the track and figure out exactly, we have position, we have speed, you could look at a bunch of different things. You can point at the track and it will tell you how fast you're going, and then you can compare to a different lap. Or I think you can compare to someone who's a little bit faster, and then you can kind of see their braking zone. Or you can compare, like, all right, I was able to slow the car down at this rate of speed. This was my braking point with these brake pads. Switch out the pads and then look at the data. Am I improving? Can I brake later? Can I brake harder? Stuff like that. So that's really cool with the Garmin, the Catalyst, the app, to sit here and just look at the math and science. It's everything's GPS, so I mean it's probably like 99.9% accurate. I know they compared this stuff with like the Ames. When I'm on track, my transponder versus the Catalyst, they're neck and neck. I mean, they're close with the lap times anyway. So anyway, I hope this video helps. If you're looking to just get more out of you as a driver and you want to compare, see, store the data, again, it's nice to know, how many laps are on these set of pads or tires, or how much faster did I go at the apex with this tire versus this tire. So it's really cool. A lot of it is like, how I feel, and well, let's see what the data shows, right? Because it's hard to explain sometimes really what's going on track. When I can see it on video, right, I can show this to a coach and they can look at it and say, hey, I need you to try to do this. Go out and do it. Did we go faster? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, we did. Because sometimes I go faster in certain sections and corners, but my lap times aren't getting faster. And it's like, all right, well, I'm gaining time here, but I'm losing it here. And that's when that optimal lap comes together. So, it's taking all the good that we did and it's putting it together as one lap. Watch that video, memorize it, and just go out and do it. So anyway, I hope this video helps. Any questions, comment down below. follow me on IG, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.